What's going on, family? It's your boy Insight, here to bring you a cool video on my opinion why I think black people should use Bitcoin. I really think it's something we need to do, so I'm gonna go into it. Y'all excuse me if I'm sweating. I live in the desert. It's about a cool 217 today. Nah, but it is about 100 as usual. But anyway, why should black people use Bitcoin? Unfortunately, it looked like first I have to explain a little bit, at least, what Bitcoin is according to research. Because according to data, black people either don't know what Bitcoin is or they know very little. They know so little that they really don't know about its function. So I'm gonna try to keep it simple as far as the technical definition of what a Bitcoin is. But if you want that, I guess it would be helpful. But anyway, Bitcoin is a currency. You should have heard about it in the news. I know you've heard about people getting rich off of Bitcoin, buying homes off of Bitcoin, buying cars with Bitcoin. I'm sure you've heard about it. You just don't know exactly what it is or how it functions. And to try to give you just a basic definition of Bitcoin, let's give you the, let's say, dictionary definition of what Bitcoin is. A Bitcoin is a type of digital currency in which encryption techniques are used to regulate the generation of units of currency and verify the transfer of funds, operating independently of a central bank. Sounds overly complicated, right? One thing you should know when it comes to any kind of money system, the goal is to make it sound complicated so that the average person don't know what the fuck is going on. That's part of the game. So let's try to keep it real simple as to what Bitcoin is. Bitcoin is a currency. It's a form of currency. It's a money. You're going to get all these arguments. Oh, well, Bitcoin is a currency. No, it's a platform. No, it's a technology. No, it's a social network. It stores value. It's a currency. It's a form of money. The internet, people got to realize, especially black people, my people, we got to realize that the internet is a new continent. It's like a new land, and it's in very pioneering times right now. It may seem like now you always get people telling you, oh, it's too late, you missed this. It's too late, you missed that. But imagine somebody saying that when America was only 20 years old, because that's how old the internet is. If you, let's say, dating back, I know it's older than that, but let's say if you're dating back from the internet as we know it, like Windows 95, you got about 22 years. That's how long the internet been in. And when you're dealing with cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, you talking about 2008, 2009 when it came into being. It's not even 10 years old yet. But the internet is a new continent. It's a new frontiering land. They got its own little communities, people planting their flags. It's like people starting towns and cities that eventually became countries, and they're still in their infancy. You got groups like, say, Anonymous, just like any country or continent or whatever, they protect it. It almost has its own security. You got, now it got its own money. It got its own currency. You know what I mean? If you own a website, you actually have a piece of real estate. It's like owning land in this new continent. So this new continent, it's pioneer town right now. It's the wild, wild west. People are planting their flags. And unfortunately, it looks like black people, again, are going to get left out of another boom. Just like the .com boom, just like the housing boom, and a whole bunch of other booms. We're going to get left out. We really need to start paying attention to cryptocurrency. It's not going to take over money. It doesn't mean that there's not going to be no more US dollar or any other currency. It's going to run alongside just like every other currency. Pesos are money, but you can't walk into Walmart here or the store or wherever and use a peso. A euro is money. A ruble is money. A yen or a yuan or whatever, a dinar. All this stuff. These are forms of currency that people use in their land. Well, again, the internet is a new land, and now it has currencies, a lot of currencies, really about over 500. It's a lot of it's hundreds of cryptocurrencies out there, but Bitcoin is the first, and it has the most value. It has a market cap right now of about $40 billion. That means there's $40 billion US money of Bitcoin being used. So I'm trying not to stray. What I feel like the average person needs to know is that it is a form of money. It is a currency, and it does have value to the tune of one Bitcoin right now is worth about over $2,500. One Bitcoin. So you can spend Bitcoin. It's not widely accepted, but if you're in a major city, you might start seeing stores with that B with the little dollar sign things on it, the Bitcoin logo. You'll start seeing these places. If you see that, that means they'll accept Bitcoin. There's Bitcoin ATMs now where you can actually buy Bitcoins, or you could withdraw money. You know, there's Overstock, I think Subway, Tiger Direct. There's companies out there that sell you prepaid gift cards or visas and stuff in exchange for Bitcoin. So there's many ways to spend Bitcoin right now. I just felt like I needed to explain that, because people need to understand that Bitcoin is real. It can't be stopped. It's not a fad. It's not going anywhere. Are there people doing wrong things with Bitcoin? I'm sure you've heard about that people buy dope or guns or ordered hits. Do people buy dope, order hits? And how much blood and dirt does that dollar in your pocket have on it? It's currency. People can use currency with it for whatever they want. So don't get fooled into thinking that it's some bad thing. It's not illegal. It's just new. And for black people, which the research also says, I don't know if people know this, but black people are normally on average the first adopters, the earliest adopters of new technology. That means when some new shit come out, we on it first. We the ones that go get the new phones and the new smart this, and we try that shit out first. So it's kind of odd. I couldn't figure out, well, why are black people not getting into Bitcoin? How do we not see this being the earliest adapters of technology? Looks like it might be something to that. When it comes to us, you're dealing with a people who, for one, we have very little trust in financial systems. Understandably so. You're talking about a people who have a history of about 4 or 5 centuries, about half a millennia of a history of shit getting took from us. Literally taken for no other reason than somebody wanted to take it, or because you were black, you a nigga. So we talk about everything down from your dignity, your character, your freedom, your religion, your language, your culture, all the way to your money, your land, your business. You have your family taken away from you. You just had your pride. You just had shit taken from you. So this stigma that black people are these people who just inherently like to steal shit, because there was a time saying during our bondage, during slavery, where that black woman might have felt like she had to, when she was in the house, she had to take an extra piece of bread or steal some cloth because shit, she was hungry, or her kids were hungry, or they were cold, and she had to do what we had to do. And we just had this habit of taking shit because shit was always taken from us or denied. You know, we are always denied shit. So the Freedmen's Bank, you know, when black people came out of bondage and we started putting money in Freedmen's Bank, the shit was took. During the Great Depression, you hear people, white people always complaining about, oh, how hard it was for them, and the stock market crashed, and nobody had jobs and money, and they were doing so bad. But you never hear them talk about the land grab that was going on, that black people had millions, I mean like 10, 15 million acres of land that we own collectively, and that during that time, because they were doing bad, they were literally coming to just take our land. You just, about to go to bed and look out the window and it's a cross burning. You know what I'm saying? And that situation started, drag you out, kill you, maybe, or beat you, half to death, scare the shit out of you, you run, leave your property, and they absorb your shit up. I got stories about that in my family. I'm pretty sure it's a lot of you out there too. As a matter of fact, there's a time in Mississippi, not sure if it was the end of the 18th century, like late 1700s or somewhere in the 1800s, where my grandfather and great-grandfather, they're from Dayton, Mississippi. If you've seen the movie A Time to Kill, where that was filmed at, that's where my peoples is from. So there was a time down there where these shiesty white people, I'm sorry, you had your black part of town, of course, it was highly segregated, and you had your black part of town. Matter of fact, this might have been, like I say, this was, my bad. This was after slavery. But you had your different parts of town, and what wound up happening at one point is that you had a hall of records where the deeds and whatnot, land records, ownership records were kept. That happened to be on the white side of town. So what white people did was the hall of records mysteriously caught fire. Right? All the records burned down. At the same time that happened, you had this rash of these white people going into the black part of town. Again, wake up with a damn cross in your yard and you get yanked out and killed or beat half to death, and what they would do is they would just absorb, that person's property, just take it from them. And when that person tried to go down to the hall of records, to say, hey, I'm the owner of this property. People took my property. I'm the owner, well, there's no record. And well, maybe you got your deed. Where I got my record, get out of here, nigga, spit in your face, beat, probably wind up hung, some shit, I'm saying it like that because it's so typical, it's so common, we all know the story. But what I'm trying to say is we have this history of having shit taken from us. So when it comes to money, one of the reasons why black people spend it so frivolously, why we can fuck off damn near $1.5 trillion a year, is because we feel like if we don't spend it, it's going to get taken. If I put it in the bank, we still got issues with putting money in the bank. We still rather keep our shit up under the mattress in the house somewhere, in the box, in the shoe box or somewhere. You still got a lot of black people that don't even have a bank account because they're scared of, I hate to say it, of America or the government or white people taking it from them. Taking up, because we have a history of this shit. Even in modern times, we really don't understand things like epigenetics, behavioral epigenetics, because I hear a lot of people make that mistake and they just say epigenetics. There's a branch of epigenetics, really new, but a lot of research going on called behavioral epigenetics. And it simply states, epi means beyond in genetics. So they're saying we're going beyond genetics. And what they're finding out with epigenetics specifically is that you have things in the environment. You have, things going on in the environment that can actually alter gene expression. It can turn shit off and on. And to take it further with behavioral epigenetics, behavior patterns that you practice for a long time, environments that you in, thought patterns you might have for a long time, habits you might indulge in for a long time, can actually alter gene expression. So you're dealing with a people, again, who have a history, half a millennia of history of just having shit taken from them. And then you want to wonder why in 2017 we don't trust financial institutions. Research, I gotta keep saying research, so I don't think I'm just making this shit up. Research even shows that black people really don't use PayPal. PayPal, one of the largest platforms on the planet right now. And we really don't use it. And I'm pretty sure it's out of distrust. We just distrust financial institutions because we feel like, for some reason, they're going to take our money. So, of course, if we don't trust financial institutions, why would we trust something as new as Bitcoin? You feel what I'm saying? It sounds frivolous. It sounds like a scam. It just sounds like it's going to get took from us. Look, I got a little bit of Bitcoin. I don't have much. I threw a few bucks, literally a few bucks, because of Bitcoin. One Bitcoin, $2,500, but it can be broken down to damn near I believe it's like 1 million of pieces. You know what I'm saying? So it can broke down in fractions. So you don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. Just like you'll go to the store or the meat market and you'll say, give me $5 worth of lunch meat. You can go to an exchange and just get $5 worth of a Bitcoin. And when you look at your Bitcoin balance, it'll say you have 0.00 or 0.01872 something fraction of a Bitcoin, but you don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. So I remember the first time I threw like 10, 12 bucks in it. And when it came time for me to make the transaction, my finger was literally shaking. Thinking, am I making a mistake? What is this? Or I'm doing something stupid. It's going to get took from me. I'm going to take a loss. It's going to get hacked. This super encrypted, protocol that, again, that's being used to the point of, as a $40 billion market cap. I'm going on for all these minutes because my people need to know that Bitcoin is real. Okay, it has its faults. It's not perfect. No system is perfect. No science is exact, but it's not going anywhere. It's real. It's damn near unhackable. Yes, it has been hacked. Servers has been hacked, but to hack the actual blockchain, you feel what I'm saying? Which is millions of computers connected, it's damn near impossible. And one of the beauties of Bitcoin is it's decentralized. What that means is it's not controlled by no government. It's not controlled by no bank. You feel what I'm saying? So that fear you have of your money being taken from you, it really damn near eliminates that. It damn near eliminates how they say it is it damn near eliminates the need for trust. You feel what I'm saying? Because you're dealing with people at the other end when you're dealing with normal transactions. So being that it eliminates, you know what I'm saying, the need for trust, you know what I'm saying? And that's one of them things that us black people, being that we have that trust issue, that's one less thing for us to worry about. It could be used in a lot of ways. I mean, there's millions of dollars right now within the last 24 hours, probably a couple of 100 million that's been transacted in Bitcoin. It's real, y'all. So now, how can we use it? How can black people use it? Again, it's a money system that's not controlled by by any government or any bank. So let's say, I really don't understand. Let's say like brothers are brothers for the Moorish Science Temple, or Moorish brothers who, they try to unplug. They don't want to deal with IDs, and they want to get jobs and say, I don't accept, fiat. I don't deal with fiat and all that. Well, why wouldn't you deal in Bitcoin? Why wouldn't you deal in a coin that's not controlled by any government? Why would you deal with a coin that really can't be taxed? Because we all know that when it comes to black people, if you read the Constitution, taxing us, per our experience, is really unconstitutional. It's really not only unfair, but then they're illegal. So, things like that, we can use it, like I say, to not have to deal with the government. We can use it for micro lending. You know what I'm saying? Giving each other, loans. It could stop a lot of that problem we have with redlining, where these banks are redlining you based on your zip code or for whatever reason. We know what we need. We know our situation. We know that we live in communities where, payday loans and all this shit is running rampant, and these high ass fees is just murdering us and just keeping us in debt. Well, the transaction fees involved in Bitcoin is little to nothing. You know what I'm saying? For large amounts, like little to nothing, let alone small amounts. So micro lending, you know what I'm saying? So we can loan each other money and put together pools of money that can't be taken from us to where we can start helping ourselves. So just imagine, and I implore any black business person, if you have a business, accept Bitcoin. That don't mean don't accept US dollar. It means alongside of the US dollar, accept Bitcoin. Not just Bitcoin, accept all the top coins, accept Ether, accept Ripple. But if you don't want to do the research and get into all of that, accept Bitcoin. So that way we can deal in Bitcoin. When we start dealing in Bitcoin, if a store that we frequent accepts Bitcoin, one thing that's going to happen is you're getting people more in tune with how technology in general works, not just how the technology of Bitcoin works, which is something that we need. Because even though we're the earliest adapters of technology, for some reason, the statistics show that all we do is dumb shit. We want to see what weed Snoop is smoking. I love Snoop Dogg. That's my guy. And Snoop, enough props on Cape Verde, your investment fund that you have. I see what you're doing. But I'm just making an example. We more interested in seeing what the homie done ate for breakfast and where they going, and taking a picture of a plate of food and twerking and jokes and skits and just dumb shit. Who beefing with who and trolling. We more caught up with that with using the technology than anything, And again, these are pioneering times. This is a time again that black people can get in while it's still new, while it hasn't blown up, and we can come up. You got people who have come up. There's a lot of things that we could do with Bitcoin. So start accepting Bitcoin at your business. How do you buy Bitcoin? People want to know, how do you buy Bitcoin? You go on to an exchange, a Bitcoin exchange, but one where you don't have to worry about losing your money is Coinbase. Coinbase, I believe it's Coinbase.com, or just Google Coinbase. And from there, from your bank account, from your debit card, or you can send them a money order, however you want to do it. You could fund your account like you would fund, say, a stock trading account like TD Ameritrade or E-Trade. You fund your account, and from there on there, you buy Bitcoin. Now, people also want to know, well, once I got these Bitcoin, I can't find nowhere where I can spend them. How do I get my money? How do I get my cash? Bitcoin just went up $300. I want to cash out. There's a myriad of ways, but the most obvious that I never hear people talking about, and maybe because it's so new and the easiest. Well, first, the easiest is I ask people, if they're looking to buy some Bitcoin. You feel what I'm saying? That's the easiest way. Learn how it works. Got your Bitcoin wallet, shoot it to their wallet, they give you the cash. There you go. But the newest and easiest way to me is, a lot of people don't know that Coinbase in particular made an agreement with PayPal. PayPal has agreed to be a payout method for Coinbase. So now when you get your Coinbase account, if you got Bitcoin in your Coinbase account, you can have them paid out through PayPal. I mean, pay out through US dollars. Fiat, you know what I'm saying? The value of your Bitcoin to be paid to your PayPal account in US dollars. From there, you transfer it to your bank account. Maybe you got a PayPal debit card, but you got your money. Sounds redundant when me saying this right now, when again the research shows that black people don't even use PayPal. Wow. We don't use PayPal, and we should. But I'm gonna try to wrap this on up. I know I might have been all over the place, but again, why I think we should use, if I could keep it as succinct as possible, why I think we should use Bitcoin is because it's decentralized. I mean, it's not controlled by no government, no bank, hard to tax, hard to trace. So that fear we have of using financial institutions, of our money being taken from us, it eliminates a lot of that. It's real money, and look at how it's grown. When Bitcoin came out, I think in 2009, Bitcoin was worth like 8 cents in US currency. The year after that, it was like $30 or something. It just kept going up, and like I say, now it's worth over $2,500. So, it's volatile. It goes up and down. But when you get into reading about how it works and how the programming was done, you'll see that it has countermeasures for it to just, to try to stabilize itself. So eventually, it will get better. This technology will get better. Sorry about that glare from the computer screen. But check out Bitcoin. Do your research, okay? It's real money. It's a lot of people making money off Bitcoin. Again, it could be something where it ain't likely to be ours, which I don't know why black people haven't come up with their own cryptocurrency. But it ain't likely to be ours. But again, it'll be something that, will give us an air of autonomy. That's where I like to use. A lot of people like to use the term sovereignty. I'd rather say autonomy, but a degree of sovereignty. So for those who want to keep things black, or you get tired of starting things, of having other people benefit more than us from our endeavors, start thinking about cryptocurrency, in particular Bitcoin, and do your due diligence, man. But don't be afraid. Use the technology. This is pioneering times. It's still so new. It's not even 10 years old. And it's something that we can get in on and really come up. I hope this has made sense. I hope someone got some information out of it. I'm going to get better at this. But I'm going to end it right here. So thanks for watching. Check out the website, blackpower247.com. It's a site that I created to provide nothing but solutions. No debates, no arguments. I don't care what religion you practice. I really don't even care what race or nationality you are. If you want to talk solutions and you understand our plight and you have some compassion and you want to talk solutions, then check out my site. Hit me up, and we can do some things. But that's my goal, to bring us solutions, things that we can use. We ain't got no more time for debating and being divided. It's getting us nowhere. So I just want to talk solutions. So that's it. Peace, family. Shalom, Hotep, Assalamu alaikum, Salam, peace to the gods, Namaste. We are all of that anyway, right? So just peace to my people. Check me out, Black Power 247. I'm your boy Insight. Peace.
Let me tell you how the big girls do it. Each and every second is fly time. Poise, grease, and shit. Attracted to the grit of the gunman. Tossing pebbles at your window at night. Shalonda, come down and